I was confessed to by the school beauty, Sophia, and the girl with glasses, who ranked first in the whole school, Emily. At the same time, I threw Sophia's love letter into the trash can and then turned around to hold Emily's hand. Everyone thought I was blind, but they didn't know that in my previous life, I chose Sophia and ended up being cocked, going bankrupt, and even my bones were not left intact. The so-called girl with glasses, Emily, became a popular star after taking off her glasses and finally died for me. Given a second chance, even a fool would know how to choose. There were 2 love letters on the desk, and the people around were making a fuss. Boy, you're really lucky. The great school beauty, Sophia, actually confessed her love to you. What's wrong with this girl with glasses, Emily? How dare she learn to confess her love with her looks? No one in their right mind would choose her, as long as they're not blind. I didn't say a word, still testing the scene before my death in my mind. After being married to Sophia for 5 years, I worked hard to support the family and remained morally upright. Even though Emily, who was a popular female star, was very special to me, I never betrayed Sophia. But in the end, Sophia colluded with her lover and bankrupted me. It was Emily who stayed by my side and helped me make a comeback. Such a perfect woman. But in the end, to help me, she was forced by Sophia's lover to jump off the building and commit suicide. I wanted to avenge Emily, but was beaten and had my legs broken by Sophia and her lover. They threw me into the deep mountains where I was devoured by wild wolves, leaving no body intact. Unexpectedly, I was reborn at the time before Sophia sucked me dry. The envelope belonging to Sophia in front of me looked extremely unlucky. Without thinking twice, I directly threw the love letter into the trash can. Behind me, Sophia and Emily returned to the classroom, one after another, and just saw the scene. The male classmate, Nathan, stammered and asked me, "David, did you throw the wrong envelope? That's the letter from the great school beauty." After hearing this, Sophia immediately glared at me with red eyes and questioned me, "David, what do you mean?" Since Sophia could be the school beauty, her appearance was naturally not bad. She was a beauty with a pure and sexy style. Emily, next to Sophia, was wearing loose school uniforms with thick bangs and black-rimmed glasses, hunched over. But I knew how stunning Emily looked after taking off her glasses. Otherwise, she wouldn't have become popular all over the country. As soon as she entered the entertainment industry, just by her beauty, all she was doing now was to protect herself. Thinking of this, I felt a bit sorry for her and had a deep disgust for Sophia. I coldly replied to Sophia, "As you can see, I'm rejecting you, Sophia. I don't like you. Don't harass me anymore." After saying that, I picked up Emily's letter and carefully put it away. All the onlookers were dumbfounded. "David, you kidding? What are you going to do with this girl with glasses? Don't tell us that you rejected the school beauty and are going to be with this ugly four-eyes girl." Sophia showed a humiliated expression, and tears slowly fell down as if I were a heartless man. Just then, a man came out from behind her, and my expression immediately turned cold. Jack, the lover who had an affair with Sophia in my previous life, was also our classmate. His family was rich, and he had even used some high-tech to improve his appearance, looking quite presentable. In my previous life, he took advantage of my trust and love for Sophia, robbed me of everything, and trampled me into the mud. But this time, everything would change. Jack looked sympathetic and lectured me righteously. "David, we're all men. A man should be brave enough to take responsibility. Before, how eager you were to pursue Sophia, everyone saw it. Sophia, taking the initiative to confess her love to you, was giving you face. Don't be ungrateful. I'll give you a chance to choose. Again, go and pick Sophia's letter back from the trash can." I coldly questioned him. "Who do you think you are? What right do you have to choose for me? I'll put it this way. Even if all the women in the world died out, I wouldn't look at Sophia again." After hearing this, Sophia's body trembled, and she was on the verge of falling. Jack wanted to hold her to comfort her, but she backed away to avoid him. It seemed that at this time, Jack hadn't caught up with Sophia yet. I didn't want to be watched like a monkey anymore. I walked forward to hold Emily's small hand and led her out of the classroom. I hadn't paid much attention to Emily during our school days before. Now I found that even though she was hiding her talents, she still had a unique charm. This was a special charm that only adult men could notice. Those young boys simply didn't understand. Under the shade of a tree, Emily suddenly broke free from my hand and looked apologetic. "David, that letter was their prank. They wanted to see me make a fool of myself. It wasn't written by me. I know you're a nice person and very excellent. I don't deserve you. You said those things to help me out of the situation. Thank you." I was stunned for a moment. So that's how it was. I later learned about Emily's character. She was reserved and passive. Even if she liked someone, she only dared to guard them silently and didn't dare to take the initiative. Even when she became a big star in her previous life, she never thought of interfering in my family. She just helped me silently without asking for anything in return. But even though the love letter wasn't written by her, I could feel her feelings for me and understood her concerns. I smiled and said, "There's no such thing as not deserving. You have your own merits. In my eyes, you're 100 times more beautiful than Sophia." Emily's face visibly turned red. I added, "But it's really not the right time now. Wait until after the college entrance examination, and then tell me your answer." "Okay," Emily nodded vigorously. "Okay, let's work hard together." The results of the mock examination came out. I ranked first in the grade and got a recommended admission quota to a prestigious university. In my previous life, I gave this precious quota to Sophia. To be fair, Sophia could be the school beauty, not only because of her looks, but also because of her good grades, ranking third in the grade. However, only the first in the grade was eligible for the recommended admission. After Sophia successfully confessed her love to me, she cried many times, saying that others said she was chasing after me and didn't want to come to school. I felt sorry for her at that time, so I gave her the recommended admission quota. But she had a quarrel with me and ran away from home the day before the college entrance examination. I got sick from getting wet in the rain while looking for her and performed abnormally in the exam, only getting into an ordinary first-year university. Jack, relying on his family's connections and spending money, entered the same prestigious university as Sophia. Only later did I realize that Sophia confessed her love to me just to cheat me out of the recommended admission quota. This time, I won't let her take any advantage again. After school, Sophia stopped me and said she wanted to have a private chat with me. It seemed that she was desperate for the recommended admission quota. I didn't move, and Sophia looked on the verge of crying. "David, why are you suddenly so cold to me? You rejected me in front of all the classmates. Didn't we like each other? I know you have nothing to do with that ugly girl. You must still like me. As long as you say the word, you can take me anywhere you want tonight." As Sophia said this, she pulled down the collar of her school uniform, revealing her snow-white skin. I immediately stepped back and looked away. "Sophia, you and I are just ordinary classmates. I'm not interested in you. And you, as a girl, pining and tugging with a man in public, don't you know how to respect yourself? David, you forced me to do this." Suddenly, Sophia gritted her teeth, smeared her lipstick, and messed up her hair. "Help, somebody. David, don't come near me." After shouting a few times at the top of her lungs, she threatened me in a low voice. "David, if you get the reputation of molesting a female classmate, you'll lose the recommended admission quota." "Why? Why don't you give the recommended admission quota to me? I'll definitely repay you. You can do whatever you want to me. Having a school beauty like me as your girlfriend is surely more face-saving than that ugly girl, don't you think?" I took out my cell phone and played a recording. Her face immediately turned green. "David, you're really ruthless. I won't give up. I want both you and the recommended admission quota." I was a bit puzzled. Sophia's look just now seemed to show that she really had different feelings for me. What was this all about? When I loved her, she was ruthless to me. Now that I'm not, as everyone knows, when the first-place student gives up the quota, it will be passed on to the second-place student. The second-place student in the grade was Emily. Emily suddenly raised her head, looking at me with extreme shock upon hearing this. Sophia was almost driven mad, and her beautiful face twisted. "David, are you really into this ugly girl? You're even willing to give up the recommended admission quota, just like that? Where am I worse than her?" Jack's face was gloomy. "David, are you crazy? Sophia has been so good to you. Instead of giving the quota to her, you give it to this girl with glasses. Since you don't want the quota, then sell it to Sophia. I'll pay whatever amount you ask for, 100,000, 200,000. Name your price." The classmates exclaimed, "They're really rich. If it were me, I'd surely agree immediately." I didn't care. In the eyes of the students, 1 or 200,000 is of course a lot, but in my previous life, I started my own business and ran a company with a monthly turnover of over 10 million. How could I care about such a small amount of money? I flatly refused. "Don't waste your effort. I won't sell the quota. If you want the quota, prove it with your grades." Although Sophia was third in the grade, her performance wasn't stable. That's why she wanted to cheat to get the recommended admission quota. Hearing what I said, Sophia's face was so angry that it froze. Jack was humiliated and looked resentful. "Arrogant fool. You think that just because you usually get the first place in exams, you'll definitely do well in the college entrance examination. When you mess up the exam, don't say a beautiful woman like Sophia, even this girl with glasses won't look at you twice. With no money and no background, going to an ordinary university and coming out later, you'll still end up working for me. David, I'm waiting for the day when you come to beg me on your knees." In a sense, what Jack said made sense. For poor people like me and Emily, who have no background, we only have one chance. But since I dare to do this, of course, it's because I've already taken the exam once, and I remember all the key points of the test. There was a final and difficult math problem that stumped all the top students. I didn't solve it in my previous life, but in this life, I will use this problem to overtake others on the curve. What's so great about the provincial top scorer? This year, I'm going to be the National College Entrance Examination top scorer. No matter how others predicted my failure, the recommended admission quota was successfully given to Emily. I asked Emily to go back and rest while I stayed at school to review, recalling the exam questions to ensure everything was foolproof. Suddenly, Sophia sat down in the seat next to me and handed me a lunchbox with exquisite French cuisine inside. This is the nutritious meal I prepared for you. Studying uses a lot of brain power, and you can get some nutrition. I ignored her. Sophia kept talking to herself and finally became angry out of embarrassment. It used to be pitiful to get your quota and then showed her true colors. She hasn't come to school for so many days. Do you know you've been cheated by her? At this time, Emily walked into the classroom carrying a nutritious meal and explained, David, I went to do a part-time job. Although my hand is injured, I still wanted to do something for you. This is the meal I cooked myself. Please have a taste. I took Emily's meal with a big smile. Thank you, Emily. I'll finish it all. Pay attention to your hand injury and don't work too hard. As expected, Sophia was angered away again. After the college entrance examination, while waiting for the results, Emily and I went to my mother's vegetable stall to help her sell vegetables. As a result, Sophia, like a persistent piece of chewing gum, showed up with Jack and complained to my mother, Auntie, do you know David could have been recommended for admission to a university without taking the college entrance examination? But he went crazy and gave the quota to this girl. With glasses beside him, my mother's expression immediately changed. When the people around heard this, they started pointing and commenting. The young man is quite good-looking. Why is he so stupid? That's a prestigious university. So many people are desperate to get in, but can't. It's okay to be a love fool, but you can't have such bad taste. If it was for a beautiful girl, it would be okay to give up the quota, but it was given to this girl with glasses instead. Sophia proudly puffed out her chest and looked at me provocatively. I pulled over Emily, who was bowing her head without saying a word, and gently took off her thick black glasses. That face, as beautiful as peaches and plums, and as pure as a lotus in clear water, was immediately revealed. Everyone was so shocked by Emily's beauty that they became incoherent. How is this possible? Sophia looked jealous and incredulous. Jack, who had been looking down on her just a moment ago, was instantly stunned and couldn't take his eyes off Emily. The others were also left gaping. She's even more beautiful than the stars on TV. They immediately changed their attitude and congratulated my mother. With such a beautiful and highly educated daughter-in-law, you'll be blessed in the future. My mother's face changed from gloomy to sunny. After all, who doesn't like good-looking people? But when everyone was happy, there was always someone who would jump out to spoil the mood. Jack, looking amazed, actually tried to poach my girlfriend on the spot. Emily, I didn't expect you to be so beautiful. Why don't you come with me? I'll cover all your tuition and living expenses at the university. It's surely better than being with this poor vegetable seller. Sophia glared at Jack and then taunted me. Even if she's good-looking, so what? David, if you mess up the exam, do you believe she'll be the first to dump you? Before I could answer, suddenly, a group of reporters and media people swarmed in. The moment they saw me, they excitedly rushed over and shoved the microphones in front of me. Congratulations, David, you are this year's National College Entrance Examination top scorer with a total score of 745 points. You've really brought honor to our provincial governor. Hearing this, everyone was dumbfounded. Are you guys mistaken? How could David be the National College Entrance Examination top scorer? Could it be someone with the same name? Jack was the first to stand up and question, but he was ruthlessly mocked by the reporters. The title of National College Entrance Examination top scorer is such a great honor. Do you think it's a game? Get out of here. Don't interfere with my first interview with the national top scorer. Jack was pushed out in a sorry state, roaring with unwillingness. Sophia looked regretful and embarrassed. She wanted to talk to me. David, I'm sorry. I wasn't deliberately cursing you just now. Can you give me another chance? The former school beauty now had a pleading look on her face, with admiration and love in her eyes. But I didn't care about her anymore because I already had a more brilliant and worthy pearl by my side. In front of the national cameras and flashing lights, I gently held Emily's hand. Her beautiful eyes were full of admiration. Congratulations, David, you did it. You're amazing. Next, the reporters started to clear the scene. Even though Sophia begged pitifully, I ignored her and let her be driven out. On the scene, apart from the reporters, only my mother, Emily, and I were left to be interviewed. After asking about the study methods, the reporters couldn't wait to ask about my preferred university choice. I already had an answer. I gave Emily's small hand a firm squeeze and answered firmly. My desired university is University X. The reporters looked at each other, seemingly a bit puzzled. University X was good, but it wasn't a top-notch institution. With my outstanding results, I could have waited for various top universities to offer me admissions. However, when the reporters saw Emily and I holding hands tightly, they suddenly understood and shifted the topic to Emily's identity. After learning that Emily was recommended for admission to University X, the reporters also sincerely offered their congratulations. What a perfect couple you two are. A match in every aspect. We hope that next year's college entrance examination candidates can look up to you two and progress together, being evenly matched. After the interview, my mother was beaming with joy, and there was no sign of any dissatisfaction with my giving up the recommended admission quota. No matter how precious the recommended admission quota of University X was, it couldn't compare to having a national top scorer in the family to bring honor to the family. In the following days, the threshold of my house was almost broken by neighbors and relatives. Everyone was in high spirits and felt proud. Not only that, I also received the national scholarship for being the top scorer and the admission bonus specially given. My University X, totaling 500,000 yuan, was also the main reason why I wanted to take the college entrance examination. This 500,000 yuan was enough to be my startup capital for starting a business. University is the main battlefield where I can display my investment ability from my previous life and use the absolute information gap to change my social class. After entering university, Emily and I officially confirmed our relationship. Surprisingly, we ran into Sophia and Jack on the first day of school. I heard that Sophia made mistakes in the college entrance examination and was a few points short of getting into University X. It was Jack who used his family's connections and spent money to buy points for her. And only then did Sophia agree to date him. Jack was driving a luxury Porsche, and Sophia was also dressed in designer brands, being very high profile. Only Sophia's face looked a bit reluctant. I didn't plan to catch up with them on old times. I was about to leave, holding Emily's hand, but Jack was extremely arrogant. He drove his Porsche to block my way. David, so what if you're good at studying? I'm rich. I can still go to the same university as you. The college entrance examination top scorer. You're just showing off. After graduation, you'll still end up working for me. With that, he got out of the car, dragged Sophia out, and kissed her in front of me. See that? The high school beauty, the department beauty of University X, is now my woman. There's no such thing as a truly chaste woman. It's just that the money wasn't enough. Jack was staring straight at Emily, showing a lewd smile. Sophia, beside him, was full of humiliation and could only glare at Emily jealously. After entering university, Emily started wearing contact lenses, and her beauty could no longer be hidden. On the first day of enrollment, she was photographed like crazy and became the well-deserved school beauty of University X. I looked at Jack defensively. What on earth do you want to say? Jack stroked his chin and said, aren't women all the same? I could win over the high school beauty, and naturally, I can also get the school beauty of University X. Emily hid behind me in fear. Jack licked his lips and got into the car and left. Sophia walked up to me with a pleading look in her eyes. David, take me away. As long as you're willing to be with me, I'll leave Jack immediately. I don't care how much money he has. I like you. I glanced at her outfit and said expressionlessly, I don't take in trash. Sophia's expression froze, and then her eyes were filled with hatred. David, you'll definitely regret it. Emily will surely be toyed with too. Death by Jack, get lost. I was too lazy to deal with this crazy woman anymore and left, holding Emily in my arms. Actually, after getting the scholarship, I had already made a lot of money in the stock market. I just didn't want to be too high profile in the initial stage. After all, there are many people who are envious in this world. But today, seeing Sophia dressed in designer brands while Emily was plainly dressed, I suddenly wanted to make it up to her. Whether she was a big star or the school beauty of University X, she had always been by my side. Such a nice girl deserved the best of everything in the world. The next day, I ordered a lot of clothes and bags and had them sent to Emily's dormitory while I continued to immerse myself in the stock market. However, something unexpected happened in the evening. Sophia started a live broadcast exposing that Emily had snatched her rich second-generation boyfriend. The location was downstairs at the girls' dormitory. At that moment, the camera was pointed at Emily's pale face. Opposite her, Jack was wearing a confident smile, holding a bouquet of flowers and kneeling on one knee, shouting out his confession. Emily, I love you. Be my girlfriend. I'll buy you anything you want. Sophia appeared in front of the camera, crying like a pear blossom in the rain, scolding Emily bitterly. Why do you rely on your beauty to seduce other people's boyfriends? Don't you have a boyfriend? You're two-timing. I didn't. Emily weakly defended herself. More and more people were gathering around. I immediately grabbed my coat and rushed downstairs. When I arrived, Sophia was tearing at Emily's clothes, and it seemed that her body was about to be exposed. I quickly stepped forward, pushed Sophia away, and protected the still shaken Emily in my arms. Sophia staggered and fell to the ground, looking at me in disbelief. David, I was teaching this unfaithful a lesson for you. How could you push me? I gently patted Emily's back and said coldly, she's not you. She would never cheat on me. I believe in her. If you're spreading rumors here without evidence, don't blame me for calling the police and having you locked up. You want evidence? Fine, I'll give you evidence." Sophia's eyes were full of hatred. She was so desperate that she went upstairs and threw down the things I had bought for Emily from the window. There were all kinds of luxury cosmetics and designer bags. Emily was so distressed that she wanted to go up and stop it, but I calmly held her back. "Emily, don't worry, she'll have to pay for whatever she damages." Sophia came downstairs, pointing at the things on the ground, speaking with certainty. "These are the evidence that Emily, this vixen, seduced my boyfriend. Everyone knows that Jack's family is rich. After he got together with me, he gave me a lot of designer brands. As a result, Emily is so money-grubbing that she wants to time. She's clinging to David on one side and reluctant to let go of Jack's money on the other side, coaxing him to send so many nice things. She's extremely shameless." The looks of the classmates who were watching the show also changed unexpectedly. Sophia, who seemed so aloof and chaste, is actually a money grubber. Jack is really generous. He hasn't even won the girl over yet, but he's already sent so many things, it must be at least several $100,000. Opia is really pitiful, after all. She's also the department beauty. I interrupted these rumors. "Shut up. These things were all bought by me, for Emily." The scene suddenly became as quiet as a chicken, and then everyone burst into laughter. Jack laughed so hard that he couldn't straighten up, pointing at my nose and mocking me. "The cuckle is really stubborn, just you, a poor guy who hasn't even graduated yet, can afford these things. Do you know how much these things are worth?" Even Sophia looked at me disappointedly. "David, everyone knows that you, the famous national top scorer, only have a mother who sells vegetables at home. No one will believe such a lie." Jack became even more arrogant. "I was just giving you face just now. Actually, I've already slept with Emily. I know exactly how many moles she has on her body. Otherwise, why would I be so generous and send her so many things? David, your girlfriend tastes really good." I wiped the smile off my face. "Jack, have the guts to repeat what you just said." Jack put his hands in his pockets and walked closer, whispering to me, "David, you have neither power nor influence. What can you do to fight against me? Whether you like it or not, you'll have to take this slander I'm throwing at you. Who cares that I'm rich? Even if I say I slept with your mother, there will still be idiots who believe it." My fist was his answer, punch after punch, hitting him hard. Jack, who was so arrogant just a moment ago, was immediately beaten black and blue by me, and even lost a teeth. The surroundings instantly turned into chaos until the police arrived and pulled me away. I wasn't the least bit panicked. First, I took out my phone and played the recording on speaker. This scumbag, after failing to steal my girlfriend, spread dirty rumors about her. I wouldn't be a man if I didn't beat him up. The police frowned and were about to take us away, but I said, "Officer, it's good that you're here. I also want to report a case. Someone has damaged my private property worth over 700,000 yuan." When Sophia heard me say this, her face, which was full of righteous indignation just a moment ago, immediately turned pale with fear. Hearing this, the police also became serious. They took pictures of the luxury items on the ground for record and took both the people and the items back to the police station. At the police station, I admitted to the responsibility of hitting someone, and I didn't care how much I had to pay for compensation. However, when it came to Emily's rights of reputation and property, I wouldn't budge an inch. I was determined to sue this despicable couple to the end. At first, Sophia argued loudly, saying that the things she damaged were given by Jack, but when I showed the purchase records, she immediately wilted. Jack himself had only minor injuries. At first, he was shouting that he would make me go to jail, but how could I have hit him without being prepared? I recorded when Jack provoked me, and I held back a bit when I hit him. He also punched me back. So it was a mutual fight. In the end, I paid Jack 10,000 yuan for medical expenses, and the matter of the fight was over. As for Jack's public rumor-mongering with conclusive evidence, Sophia also faced compensation of several $100,000 Later it was Jack's family who stepped in to mediate. They paid me 300,000 yuan on the promise to make a public apology and arranged for Jack to drop out of school, vowing never to harass Emily and me again. Only then did I let it go. Somehow, Sophia managed to coax Jack into agreeing to pay the compensation for her. After that, they both dropped out of school and went abroad. Thus, this farce came to an end. The following 4 years of university life passed peacefully. The only change was the growing balance in my bank account. Emily had surprisingly good investment vision. Many times her ideas coincided with mine. As a reborn person, with Emily's assistance, my company was several times larger than in my previous life. The once mighty Daniel Group now seemed like an insignificant little thing in my eyes. I never forgot the hatred from my previous life, so when the Daniel Group invited me to an exchange meeting, I gladly accepted. However, I didn't expect to see Jack and Sophia, who had gone abroad before. I heard that Sophia married into the Daniel family by having a baby. Compared to her elegance a few years ago, she now looked a bit old-fashioned, and her taste had deteriorated greatly. She was dressed like a nouveau riche guy, got out of the Rolls-Royce, dressed in a suit and looking imposing. Jack and his wife, who got out of their car not far away, saw me and the Rolls-Royce behind me at a glance. Jack was stunned for a moment and then looked dismissive. Again, David, the college entrance examination top scorer back then, has now sunk so low as to become a driver. I was right back then. A bookworm like you, who only knows how to study blindly, is doomed to work for us upper-class people all your life. You think I'm a driver? I couldn't help but laugh. It seemed that the Daniel Group was really in a precarious situation. A playboy like Jack couldn't even recognize the handmade custom suit I was wearing. Sophia's originally surprised eyes immediately became cold and mocking. David, fortunately, I stopped myself in time and chose the right husband. Otherwise, it would be me suffering with you now. Where's Emily? Did she dump you long ago because she saw you were useless? Honey, why didn't you wait for me? At this moment, the passenger door behind me opened. Emily, wearing a champagne-colored off-the-shoulder evening dress and top luxury jewelry, slowly got out of the car and walked to my side, taking my arm and acting coyly. When Jack saw Emily, he couldn't help but swallow hard, his eyes almost popping out. Are you Emily? I thought you were beautiful enough 4 years ago, but I didn't expect you to have become such a stunner now. From the moment Emily got out of the car, Sophia was staring at Emily's dress and jewelry in disbelief. You're drool. This is my wife. I put my arm around Emily, asserting my ownership. Jack came to his senses and cursed at me. You lousy driver. How dare you shout at me? Do you know that the entire hotel today is booked by my Daniel family? You poor wretch. How could you marry such a fair-like woman? Are you going to let her live a life of hardship with you? Emily covered her mouth and chuckled, deliberately asking him, if I were with you, what would I get to eat? Jack was overjoyed, and immediately answered, of course, all kinds of delicacies. As long as you divorce him, I'll give you 3 million yuan as pocket money every month. Sophia was about to say something but was thrown to the ground by the impatient Jack. She was clutching her arm in pain. Seeing this, Emily was disgusted. 3 million? Is that a lot? It's not even as expensive as the dress I'm wearing. Men who hit women are the most spineless. I was very pleased. Over the past few years, following me and starting a business, Emily's character had changed a lot. In the past, she was very timid in front of Jack, but now she dared to fight back face to face. To put it bluntly, this is the confidence that money brings. Jack's temper flared up, and in a fit of anger and humiliation, he was about to swing his fist to hit someone. Suddenly, a big hand reached out from behind him, grabbed his collar, and gave him a hard slap. You, unfilial son. Are you trying to rebel? This is an important guest I managed to invite with great difficulty. Jack turned his head and saw his father had arrived. He shrank his neck but still put on a brave front. What important guest? Isn't he just a lousy driver? Sophia helped Jack up and whispered, the dress Emily is wearing is the latest style of this season. You can't even buy it with 5 million yuan. How could her husband be a driver? Jack's eyes widened, meeting my mocking gaze. He flew into a rage again and gave Sophia a fierce kick. Why didn't you remind me earlier? You just wanted to see me make a fool of myself, right? I'll beat you to death. The president of the Danube Group had a livid face, but still bent over to apologize with a forced smile. President David, I'm really sorry. Please come in quickly. The banquet inside is already prepared. However, I raised my hand to look at my watch, looking impatient. Your son has already wasted too much of my time. I don't have the time to waste on you guys. Goodbye. Ignoring the desperate pleas of the president of the Daniel Group, I turned around, opened the car door, and paused to say one more thing. President Daniel, I have a suggestion. Your son is useless. You'd better have another one. After saying that, I drove away without looking back. In the rearview mirror, I saw the president of the Daniel Group squatting down, grabbing his hair in despair, and his good-for-nothing son was brutally beating his wife to vent his anger. Sophia was beaten until she was covered in blood, raising her hand to beg for help in my direction. I withdrew my gaze and stepped on the accelerator again. Having a casual and unrestrained manner on a sunny and pleasant morning, my beautiful wife brought good news. The Daniel Group went bankrupt with debts of hundreds of millions. All their assets were liquidated and auctioned off. I wasn't surprised at all by this result. After all, I'm not a saint with grudges and targeting from 2 lifetimes. How could I just let this despicable couple get away with it? The Daniel family started from traditional industries and didn't understand the stock market. I played them around until they lost all their family fortune. Ironically, they were so desperate that they tried to find someone to break the deadlock. But it turned out they came to me, the very person who caused all this with the bankruptcy of the Daniel Group. Jack, without any support, would surely feel worse than death. Sophia also had to bear the consequences of her wrong choice. Later, at a class reunion, I happened to hear about their recent situation. To make a living, Sophia could only work in a club. When she got home, she would still be beaten by the father and son. She couldn't even get a divorce. After a few years, she had become a shrewish woman with a sallow face, completely losing the charm of the school beauty she once was. As for me and Emily, we had a pair of twins, a boy and a girl. Everyone envied us. I'm really glad that God gave me a chance to start over and allowed me to make the right choice. For the rest of my life, I will be loyal to my wife and live up to her trust.